So welcome. So just a little update and just having a look at a plan of attack on how to do the Falcon to swap it over to from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. So this is a right-hand drive car. So it's a lot worse than I thought. So I've started to clean this up and it's totally rusted out in there. And I'm just blowing through it everywhere. And when I have a look under here, this is totally rusted out up in there. So you can see rust holes and it's totally rusted out. So that's not worthwhile keeping. But the floor, the firewall where I want to keep it, is worthwhile keeping. So what I've had a look at is around here, these little kickers here, they're pretty good, but this join here, so if we have a look down here, we have a join here, so, and it's the same on the other side. So my thought is coming across here and cutting that out across through there. And say on this one I'll cut it on the high side of the joint, and on the other one I'll cut it on the low side of the joint, and then overlap them here so that they will have an overlap there, and then I will join them onto each other. That way the original firewall on that one is still connected to the frame rail, and we're putting the firewall above here. Now if we go in here, that join is, I'll just get over in here so that we can show you. Just hang on, I'll just climb over. Not too wasn't climbing over. So that V join is here. Right on that joint there. So so what we'll be doing is going over here, across here, and up under here, and going across here, and joining back up over here. That way I get all the good stuff that I need. So everything I need here and above there is what I need for the firewall. So I need that whole firewall up here. Up here, these are welded on here. They're not spot welded, so as you can see they're welded on. There's a joiner there. In the US ones, they have bolts on here to hold them on, and they come up as one unit, but in the Australian ones they don't have that. So my plan for here is, like when I'm doing this, as you can see, when I clean that up, it just blew straight through the side of it, and there's holes in there, and there's holes in there. So basically everything below this line here is not much good. So my thought is I need this top panel only for the wipers. Right, so the wipers on the right hand drive, on the left hand drive, this hole is down here and this hole is here. Right, so they're mirror opposites. So on the right hand drive, this wiper is up here. So my thought is that I'm just going to unpick it from here. You can see that there's pretty good metal here. So we've only got these ones here to spot welds to take out, and lift that one up, and then I think I'll cut it down around here and cut it along here. I don't think I need to come down here because that'll make it too difficult. or if I come down to there and then unpick it from there, unpick it along here, that may work, but there's nothing on here that I need. And if I come along here and just overlap it here, that'll work pretty good because there's a rubber that sits up here, and so any little distortion here, the rubber will hide any distortion on there. So that's a something I can consider. But the rest of it, if we go over on the outside here and we have a look down here where this joint is, so we can come out to there, and that brings me out on that joint there, so I can unpick it all the way up here. So I can unpick it all the way up here and take this one here off the engine bay panel off, and then, or even I can cut it up here and then unpick it while it's off, which might be easier to do with it off the car than on the car. So that's what I think I might do, and that way I can unpick this here off as well and take the firewall off that way. So that's my thought on it. There's these little angle brackets on here, and I had a look, and I believe you can buy them, but they look like they're not that hard to make. So clearly they look like they're alignment holes as well, so they use them for aligning things up. As you can see, they're an alignment hole, and it looks like the guard is held on by that, or the fender. So that's my thoughts on it, so that everything that will be welded will be hidden underneath. On my car, on the red car, the left-hand drive car, this here is all perfect on it, so that's not a problem. But on this one here, everything is not too bad on it above it, but the firewall above there, the firewall above here is all okay. So if I cut it along there and then just sit it in on the other one and then work out where I'm going to cut it on the other one, I've got 2 reference points, so it should be alright. And on that one there, I just got to unpick it all, and so the only overlap will be another seam across there. So whether or not that'll bother anyone, I'm just climbing back out of the engine bay. Whether or not it'll bother anyone, that there will be one seam here, so that one there will come across here, whether there'll be a seam there and the original seam is there. So we're going to be about here, and that's the original one there. So we're not that far away from it. It's just that all this is just rusted out over here where the seam is here, and there's not much point leaving that in or trying to resurrect that if I don't need to, and just create a new seam there. I don't think I'm weakening it at all in any way, because I'm using all the good metal up the top, and on mine, on my red car, it's all really good metal there. It's all pretty much original, but as you can see under here, there is quite a bit of going on under here. But when you look under here, this side here, and that side there are identical in left and right side. So they're identical. They've got, it's a little bit different to the Mustang one. The Mustang one has a different kicker panel here on the left hand side to the right hand side. But the thing is that the most important thing we need is all of this part up under here to look original. And I don't think having a seam going across here is going to take away any of that originality. The only thing I see that's different on here, there's a hump on that side there above the accelerator pedal, and there's two lines here. So it remains to be seen what will happen with that. But yeah, it's not too bad. The dash is not as good as I thought, which is a shame, but it gives me a whole heap of stuff to work with, that's for sure. Certainly the coffee pot and all that being on the proper side here, and that looks like a new coffee pot there. It should be alright, but when you're going through and you're reconditioning all the bits and pieces and you're painting them back again, that's going to be a bonus. So anyhow, there is a plan, and I just thought I'd share that with you, and your comments are welcome on it. We're still putting good forward metal in a good forward, so that's the most important thing. So if you want to keep following us, just ring the bell, give us a like, and we'll go from there. Thank you. I welcome your comments. Like, we're all I think newbies at this. I had a look around, and I haven't seen a right-hand drive 2-door 61 Falcon anywhere in Australia ever. If someone's done one, it's probably one or two of them have been done, or people may have started them and they're sitting in their shed and not completed. So that's my thought on it. So I went and picked up a gearbox today, and I'll just quickly show you that. So I went and got a motor and gearbox today, and it was a package. And as you can see, the gear linkages on the Australian gearbox are on the right side of the gearbox, whereas on the left-hand drive one, that's on the left-hand side, and the clutch fitting on the bell housing for Australia is on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side one, it's over on the left-hand side. So I needed to get all of this part, but that part is all here, and this mirrored part is also on the chassis over there, so I've got both of those bits, so that's a bit of a blessing. So but that's what I had to do, is go down and get a gearbox, and I got 170 motor, a gearbox, tail shaft, clutch, starter, generator, and so I picked all that up today. So there's no issues with it. This was a running engine. It's got all new Welsh plugs in it. I just say, look, it's got all new brass Welsh plugs in it. So someone's gone through and done it up previously. It looks like it's painted green, which maybe Gem Engines may have reconditioned it at one stage. But there's lots of little bits on it that will come in handy. So I just thought I'd update you on that. So anyhow, that's it for this video, and I'll catch you next one. Bye.